Before we start, I want you to know what is this video exactly about, because this is something I wish someone would told me before I started volunteering in South Korea. I'm going to talk about, let me see my notes, where and how I volunteered with Worldpackers, what I thought I was signing up for versus what actually happened, the visa and the legality side that nobody really explains, and what would I do differently if I did it again. If you're thinking of volunteering in South Korea, especially for the first time, this video can save you from a lot of confusion, so stick around. Hi, my name is Nori. If you're new here, I hope you stick around. I make videos about travel, lifestyle, wellness, gossip, Korea content, and my own experiences. Oh my God. I had a few of you ask me questions about volunteering and Worldpackers, and finally I'm doing the video. Quick disclaimer before we dive in. This is not legal advice. Not legal advice, guys. Remember that. Everything I say here is my personal experience, what I learned by my own research, what I heard from friends, what I learned from the internet. So please do your own research. Things like rules can change, and depending on your passport and your placement. So yeah, double check before you're going. So I'm going to start with part 1. I think I have 5 parts, and I'm going to be reading my notes so I don't forget anything important. So let me start with my experience, part 1. So as I said, I volunteered in South Korea. I had 2 placements. One was in Daejeon and one was in Bucheon. 1 month each. My base was Seoul. I had an apartment there. I was really lucky. You will see why I'm saying this. And at both placements where I volunteered, my main task was to teach English. Mainly was conversation English. Sometimes we had people asking for specific topics. And yes, the work itself, honestly, it was very easy. It wasn't anything strict like, teaching in school. And it was mostly conversational classes, as I said. I also had 2 little girls, but I think both of them, they were moving countries and they were going to like English school, so they needed to ease into that curriculum. Since I do teach languages in real life, oh my God, I do teach languages, that's one of my jobs, and I was qualified to teach them and prepare them for the move, let's say. Part 2, the schedule and the conditions. We worked about 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. Sometimes we had Saturday classes. The schedule was, at the first academy, it was very easy. The manager let us do the scheduling between us, like the team, and we always managed to get weekends off as well. And then the second academy, I will be very honest, the manager was really disorganized. So things like tasks changed last minute. Sometimes the class was supposed to start at 5, but then we were waiting around, no one was coming until 7. Though he knew that no one is going to be there, so why are we there? I would have preferred to get that time off and then maybe do another day more hours or whatever. If you don't have students, why do we have to be there? Anyway, housing as well, it was very poorly managed. Thanks God I had an apartment in Seoul. So Bucheon was 1 hour from Seoul, and I commuted, to be honest. I spent all my weekends in Seoul, and maybe I slept at the house 2 times a week or something like that. Then the big misunderstanding, number 3. Okay, now this is a big thing I want to talk about, and this part, honestly, it's on me. It's really on me. Before I arrived, I have genuinely thought that I will be volunteering, and for me, volunteering, it means that you help someone in need. Teaching people who cannot afford English, helping communities or individuals to learn. But the reality was different. It was very different. These were full academies. So basically, students were paying money to study there. Yeah? And I was there teaching for accommodation, which technically I didn't need it because I already had accommodation. So I was not teaching people in need, I was teaching paying students, just I was not paid. So teaching without being paid. Yeah. So this doesn't mean that it's automatically bad. It doesn't mean that. But also, you have to do your research on what you want. If you're in need of accommodation, then yes, it's a good exchange. But I was not in the need of accommodation, and also my main reason for volunteering was to help people in need. I should have read the listing more carefully. I should have asked more questions, although I think I did everything well, but it is what it is. Let's see next part, the visa reality. Number 4. So visa, very important, very, very important. I have a Hungarian and a Romanian passport, which means that I can stay in Korea up to 90 days visa free. But here is where it gets a little bit gray. A tourist visa or a visa free entry does not allow you to work. And even if you're not getting paid, even if you're just exchanging work for accommodation, even if it's listed on a platform like Worldpackers, any type of teaching, volunteering, guest house, whatever, it can count as work. So Worldpackers itself, it is a legit platform, but that doesn't automatically mean that every placement is 100% legal under Korean immigration law. Part 5. This is what I personally recommend. Do not tell everyone that you are volunteering. Not because you are doing something wrong, it's because some places don't report their workers. Immigration rules in Korea, as I said, they are very strict. And if something goes wrong, you are going to be the guilty one, not the academy that hired you. You're going to be the guilty one. And in Korea, they take it very seriously. So I would be very careful, especially if you're on a tourist visa. I didn't have any problems. I found out in the last nearly 3 weeks, and thank God I didn't have problems, but I was very aware of this, and I did not want to do anything illegal. Now, part 5, this would be something like an advice. So if you're thinking to go to volunteer to South Korea with Worldpackers, here is my honest advice for you. Check how long you can legally stay in the country. Every passport is different, and everyone has different rules depending on age, country, and all that. Ask very, very, very clear questions from the other party where you're going to go volunteering. These are the questions I should have asked, and if I would do it again, I would ask, are the students paying? Is this a business or a community project? What exactly are my tasks? How many hours, etc., etc.? And what happens if the schedule changes? These are just few questions, very simple questions that I think that would have helped me before. Now, you have to also understand the visa risk. Even unpaid work can be considered work in South Korea, as I said. Then you have to manage your expectations. You might not be saving the world. You might just be helping a business grow. That's okay, as long as that's what you want, if it fits your needs, you know? And then have a backup plan. That's very important to have a backup plan, like accommodation, money, somewhere to go, someone to call. These are the 4 more important things I would recommend. Now, would I say don't do it? No. Would I say do it blindly? Absolutely not. Volunteering in Korea, it can be a great experience, but only if you are informed, realistic, and very careful. If you have any questions about Worldpackers or volunteering in South Korea, please drop them in the comments. I promise I will reply. I know I'm slacking a bit with my YouTube videos, but I'm trying to be more present now, and hopefully I can help someone out there who needs answers to all the questions we might have about volunteering. If this video helped you, please like, comment, share, all that. I'm really appreciative of you listening to me yap. And I will see you in the next video.